Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 22nd, 2022. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Nicole Erdix is off this week, but maybe next week she'll be with us. We have our fingers crossed. It could happen. Just everybody think good thoughts this week, will ya? But for now, it's just the two of us, talking, complaining, and obsessing. This week, we're complaining about home ownership again, always, and obsessing about going back to school. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we are talking about another Would You Rather question. Are we ripping off from that game you play again, Catherine?
We are.
Okay, well.
Follow the herd.
It's good for both fun and podcast topics.
That's right.
You get your non-money's worth out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the question that they asked?
So they said, you have an extra $10,000. So let's just not think too hard.
Oh, here's that $10,000 I forgot I had.
Exactly. We won't think about where the source.
But do a little job for somebody. It's fine. It's nothing.
So you have an extra $10,000. And you have three choices.
Okay.
Do you invest it, make home repairs, or go on a trip?
And what did the response wind up being on the follow the herd?
Right. So the crowd chose trip pretty decisively. Okay. They would take a trip. Next would be, and these were pretty close, invest and home repair. Uh-huh. And then there were three people that tried to, have it both ways and said, well, I would do all three, or I would do invest it and take a trip, which, you could. You could certainly take a trip for well under $10,000.
Fix a sink, buy a small bond, buy a savings bond, and, go someplace in state.
Right.
At a reasonably priced hotel. Right. As long as you didn't need gas. If you wanted the gas, you're going to tip over the $10,000. I'm very sorry.
So
a bus trip to somewhere is what you
But yeah, I think for me, the answer, at least today, even in spite of the home complaints that we talked about last week, and we'll talk about again this week, I would pick a trip. I just, between the pandemic and just the various financial situations, we haven't done any kind of big, great fun trip in a long time. So I would love to take a trip.
How big a trip do we think we could take for $10,000 for a family of four? I think it's you got
probably
the airfare, you've got the hotel, and you've got the tickets to wherever you're going. Which
the airfare is going to be at least $4,000 probably for four people, depending on where you're going. But if you're going somewhere vacation-y, then yeah.
So that's going to take a big chunk. Your hotel's going to take a big chunk. How much are those those Disney cruises or something like that? I wonder or a package deal to some place.
I think you can get a family of four for some kind of package.
Right. Not as much as it would have been. It would have been a fabulous vacation at one time. And now I think it's you could stay at the Ramada by Disney World.
Right. Yeah, Disney tickets alone.
Yes.
Depending on, are you going to California where it's only 2 parks, or are you going to Florida where it's 8 or whatever it is? So.
You're gonna blow through that cash pretty quick right there, but have a good time. It'll be the vacation of a lifetime, and when it's over, you'll think, I could have had $10,000, and now we just had a week of memories. Photographs, things to talk about on a podcast. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I, as you can probably tell, am over the trips. I'm over the traveling. Not appealing.
Right.
At all. If it was $100,000 and that's the only thing I could spend it on and I could go someplace fabulous, maybe. But even then, I would find better things to do with that money. Because trips are always a disappointment in one way or the other. Nothing ever goes quite the way you imagined it would go. And you're left at the end thinking, Gosh, I wish I had that money again. And investing, investing is probably the smartest thing to do, but it's awfully unsatisfying.
Right.
You get a little windfall and you're just going to give it to the bank.
Right.
I don't know. I'd like to see my savings account level rise by 10,000, but it still would be, it would seem like kind of a waste of a gift of money. Mm-hmm. So that leads me with the very satisfying and wonderful and good feeling area of home repair, in which I would probably find a very modest thing to do and think, oh, surely I can get that done for $10,000.
Right.
Nothing ever. I mean, just like getting our teeny tiny bathroom off our bedroom done was hugely more than I thought. And it's not that nice. And, we've done modest repairs on various parts of the house, and they have been significantly expensive.
Right.
Way more than I thought they should be. I mean, just now we got the front step patched up and the garage door painted, and it was $1,000. So, what am I going to get for that?
Right.
Should I just, make my room real nice? I don't know. New furniture. We have in our master bedroom, and I'm a little proud of this, honestly. I don't think I would replace it. IKEA furniture from the early 90s.
Wow.
And it looks good. Some of the handles have fallen off, so we have sort of a potpourri of handles on the chest of drawers in the dresser. But they're sometimes the bottom of the drawers fall out, and I have to take them out, and I have to, reassemble them. But it's IKEA. That's easy enough to do.
Right.
Other than that, oh my goodness, they've held up for so long. I feel like I would get new ones, and they would fall apart within, a year.
Right.
See also my kitchen appliances that I was so happy to buy. That also cost way more than I expected. Anyway, so we do have this major home repair project staring us in the face, which is that we have this, as I've mentioned before, apartment in our basement, a mother-in-law apartment that has gone to seed since my actual mother-in-law passed away. And at some point, I would like my daughter to go move down there. I'm actively working on getting her confident enough that she would want to do that. But holy cow, is it not livable at this point? As I mentioned last week, there is a matter of an odor. Plus, it's just, when you don't use things for a long time, they just kind of go to seed.
They just decay.
So we'd have to freshen everything. Let's just say we'd have to freshen everything up.
Right.
Could we find maybe some new furniture from, this century? Maybe. Maybe do something about my mother-in-law's china cabinet that's still down there. I doubt we could get it done for $10,000, even though it's not that much that needs to be done. Just a little facelift, a little cosmetic work, a little new furniture. Maybe, I don't know, if we could hire some people off the street and not, no, they don't have a license. If we could find a really cheap contractor who does
someone who's just
work.
Starting out.
I keep thinking if, both of our neighbors on either side did a lot of work on their houses when they moved in. Our house is now the seedy one in the middle. Maybe they could come and out of team spirit for the neighborhood and love for my daughter, who is a very sweet girl, fix up these rooms for us.
Right.
I don't know. But $10,000 would at least start it off.
Yes, for sure.
With a, fanfare. It would make me feel like I could do it, and then it would wind up being $30,000. But still, it was enough to kick me in the butt to get it done.
Right, it got you going.
It got me going. So I think I'd have to use it for house repairs. I don't think the other two would be satisfying. Nobody here likes to travel. We're over it. So anyway, but that's interesting. That trip was the big one. I guess, as you say, post-COVID enthusiasm to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Is probably driving that.
And just the fact that, it is so expensive right now. People are putting it off, even just road trips because of cost. And so,
yeah. I'm curious to know what sort of trip you could get for $10,000 these days. Probably it would be pretty good. Probably I'm just being a Grinch.
Yeah, I mean, it depends a lot on what you want to do and where you want to go. And
yeah. If you want to go somewhere in the wilderness and just kind of walk around, you could probably do it. If you have to buy tickets to more than one amusement park.
Right. That's when it starts to add up.
Especially when you have, like, multiple people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that doesn't seem so bad. And then you multiply it by 4 or 6 or however many you have in your party. And it's like, well.
Yeah. Well, and like recently, so my husband and son went to visit a college for my son. And my husband, they spent 2 nights, 3 nights. They spent a couple nights in Pittsburgh is where they were. And so, they had some free time, and my husband was like, oh, let me, because my son is interested in theater, like, let's see what's playing, like, let's go see something.
Yeah.
And turned out that Billy Joel was playing.
Wow. I bet those tickets were affordable.
Well, they kind of were. I mean, it wasn't outrageous for the two of them for the last minute, So they went and they had a great time. And also Pittsburgh has like a free public transit. It has like a light rail. So they were able to get around for free. But anyway, so then my husband like had the taste for concerts all of a sudden, and he starts looking at, he's like, whoa, Bruce Springsteen is playing, and I'm like, yeah, but I heard those tickets are like over $1,000 or like hundreds, and he starts like, he's like, oh, he's like, you're right.
Well, back in the day, Bruce gave a heck of a concert. If somebody's gonna be worth that much money, it would be him. But I don't know. It's
probably him. But what I
kid anymore.
Yeah. But what I said to my husband was like, well, I'd rather like go to Europe than go to Detroit and see Bruce Springsteen, because that's where he was looking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. These are the comparisons you would have to make when you had your $10,000.
Right. Well. That wasn't even on the list. See Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce.
Yeah. I mean, I don't deny that would probably be really great. But
yeah. I saw him a couple of times and it was spectacular. But he would just go on and on and on for a really long time. And I wonder if he can do that now. I wonder if it'd be more like the Lyle Lovett concert I went to, where he had just been injured by a bull, and so he sat on a chair through the entire concert. I think that maybe Bruce has like a nice, lazy boy. He just does the slow songs. He'll be fine. No, I'm sure he's jumping out there and singing his heart out like a kid, like he always did. And we just hope that he doesn't break a hip or something. Well, of course, we would take our mutual $10,000 and invest $20,000 in the podcast. Buy a studio. What would we state-of-the-art recording equipment. We'd pay for Facebook advertising.
Someone to edit it for you.
That's right. Yes, we could hire somebody, and maybe not for $10,000, $20,000, but we could just record a whole year's worth and then have them edit.
Right. Get her done.
And merch. We could get merch. We could get, we could pay for ads on Overcast that have gone from affordable to not. Oh, well. I'm dreaming a big dream. That is it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.